the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is another episode of Blurred's Eye View. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, the man on the wall, the king up north, Chris Fury. What's going on, everybody? If it is your first time being here, thank you for tuning in. And guess what? You won't be sorry. You can always watch us and everywhere you can check us out on Amazon, Fire, or Roku through Always Press Record TV. Shout out to Trey Lawson for running Always Press Record TV. You can also catch us anywhere you listen to your podcast, including Opulence Radio. Shout out to Amaron Burnett for running Opulence Radio. And you can check us out live on Facebook, Twitch, and the YouTube channel. And guess what? You can also give us stars now on Facebook. So feel free to give us stars. Help us do more. Help us get this Patreon off the ground, because after this season is over, it's never really over now, is it? Let's get the party started. Let's get the lady of the ship, our gun maiden, Lady Mandalore. What's going on?
Hello, good evening, everybody. How are you doing?
All right. You sound great.
Perfect, good. Girl got an upgrade. Yeah.
I was like, you sound great. I was like, so yeah.
Good.
Sunday we did your show. We did Room Full of Blurs, and we did our review of Flash and the Blackening. Oh, that's such a
dude. I'm telling you, look, I ain't missed yet. I ain't missed yet with my reviews. I'm just saying.
So tune in this Thursday after you watched Roomful of Blurs. Tune in this Thursday live, because we will be covering Flash and the Blackening. We're giving you a double dose, people. So you know how we rock. Let's get our horror aficionado in the building. Geek by Heart, Manny, what's going on?
What it do?
You sound real clear.
Hit him up.
Ow, I'm trying.
No Strolls, no Transformers. We're locked in.
Listen.
We're locked in. Oh my God. We'll get the cinematic assassin on board. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I promise y'all I don't come in here to derail the show intentionally. It's just that my life is ridiculous and entertainment is a byproduct. Right before the show started, someone was like, "Oh, I love that show." No, they said, "I love that movie." I was like, "What are they talking about?" I checked my Instagram. They're referring to the photos I shared of the new Netflix Avatar. So I was like, "Wait a minute, you love that movie? You love the M. Night Shyamalan."
It's a scroll. It's a scroll. It's a scroll.
Oh, we don't count that.
It's a plan.
We don't count that one.
I really wanted to comment, "Bless your heart," but I just
you know that's fighting words.
Yeah. You're just like, I don't know you right now. On that note, we got the Black Spartan in the building. Never fails.
He's already lost it.
Oh no.
He's just gonna head back to the engine room and just kind of get things back together.
I really am, because Will, where do you find these people, sir?
His algorithm thrives on chaos.
I was gonna say, I thought I had where people roll up on my door, but you got me beat.
Yes. We got a special guest with us tonight. His hotel, he runs Black Lion and Cubs. This man is everything right here. He's an educator, he is an entrepreneur, he is a hustler, he's a father, he's all the above, and he has the Cubs with him. What's going on, hotel?
Babies!
Oh, wow. Look at that.
What's going on, everybody? Say hello to everybody.
Hi.
Oh.
So I came across a post earlier today, which I found funny, endearing, and just all around geeky. And he's teaching his child World War II, and his daughter. His daughter says, "Okay, but when do we learn about Captain America and Hydra? And what about Indiana and the box that melts the people's faces off? Because that's when it gets cool." And he said, "I can't decide if I failed as a father or if I'm crushing it right now."
A little bit of both.
Right?
A little bit of both.
That is essential education.
Yeah.
I think you're excelling. That's out the box thinking right there.
Listen,
The fact that the daughter even asked.
it's really out the box if you could actually merge the actual history with what that is.
Exactly.
And have them understand both.
Yeah.
It works. It works.
What you do is they have a thirst for knowledge. That's what you walk away from that situation with.
It's like, I haven't failed. I haven't failed.
Maybe it's just one textbook out of the 18 comics. Just one.
Yes.
Just give more balance.
Look, if my little one turns around and says, "So if Emperor Palpatine," I said, "Stop. We're already good. Continue."
Next generation gonna be all right.
Listen, that part.
Nothing else. Like, she's supposed to be nothing else matters because she's learning about Star Wars and politics. It works. I'm rocking with it. So
You would learn a lot from social studies just by watching Star Wars. Honestly,
I mean,
That part.
They don't seem to
present
understand.
politics included.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That part.
it still works to this day. It still works.
Oof.
Oof. So how was everyone's week and weekend? And happy Father's Day to the brothers here on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out to everybody and said the same because we're all in the same chat. So how was your Father's weekend? How was your Father's Day weekend, Juneteenth, and all the that great Spartan has something crazy. I see the look in his eye.
No, good.
You sure about that?
Are we talking, from a therapeutic standpoint, or are we talking metaphysically? Because
we talking about whatever you want.
Oh, man. Happy Dad Teeth, exactly. Happy Dad Teeth.
I am content. I am lovely. How are you this evening?
I'm inquisitive this evening. That's what I am. I would like to know
Facts.
more about your weekend, sir.
Big facts.
my weekends are anything but stories, and I feel like I'm just sharing my life every time we get to these points.
I
It's
mean,
what we do.
That's what. That's not what this is.
There are
Am I in the wrong place?
There are children present. I will pass. There are children.
Oh,
Look, I literally just showed the Craven the Hunter trailer yesterday, and the people's responses was like, I don't know, I might have to sit this one out. And most of them were like, understandably, I ain't feeling. And they was like, I'd love to see your take on it. I said, oh, don't worry. You're going to hear it from us. I literally told him, I said, oh, that's what we're here for. Like, we shoot from the hip. Like, you're going to find out. Chloe says, what do we think about the whole submersible Titanic tour? It's crazy.
The what's now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. They want to give tours of where you can actually see the current resting place of the famous ship.
However,
my God,
the submersible that they're using is currently lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has 5 people in it.
It did.
Yeah, it did. They
Wait,
probably have
start
like
with that part. I laughed first. Wait.
Yeah.
Welcome to your own horror movie.
That part.
They probably have maybe 50 to 75 hours of air left.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm gonna sit this one out.
And that was earlier.
Will,
So,
you better take yourself off of mute. You better laugh.
Giggling
You better
too
laugh
hard.
with us. You riding this. You getting in this boat with us.
Look. We got our tickets a long time ago. I mean, at this point.
Ooh.
So I'm hearing that some of the equipment that they used on this thing were like not even the top grade of items to use.
Mm-hmm. It was all from Wish.
Can I say the one? Can I say
not
the
from
one
Wish?
thing?
Shut.
Just the one. I want just. They had a. Hold on. They had a I'm not even kidding.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. This is what they use to control it.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yep.
It wasn't even this. It was like
Listen,
an
it looked like the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
I'm
not joking. I'm not
Y'all
joking.
are playing games.
They were.
This ain't of our persuasion, is it?
We're
this ain't of our
good.
persuasion.
No.
Okay.
No.
But it is.
We're good. We're not that damn good. We're not that good to do that.
See,
not to joke about this one. Like
all them killer whales gathered. They try to tell you all them killer whales gathered in one spot.
Hey, Angelic Empress.
That was a warning.
One thing that I find out, when you have a herd of orcas going somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, what are they doing?" And I say, "Minding their business,
their own business." Try it sometime.
It's like
going to mess with nature till nature fights back, and all of a sudden, what happened? No, nature did exactly what they're supposed to do.
They were always so peaceful. I don't understand that. It's so.
We just wanted to pet them. They do not want to be bothered.
You call them killer whales for a reason.
A logic, exactly. It was a Logitech controller.
Yeah. I'm gonna laugh. I'm sorry. Survival of the fittest. That was dumb.
That was Darwin. That's Darwinism, man.
Expensive.
That is Darwinism at its finest. That's like someone saying, "Hey, how would y'all like to go into an untested aquatic machine to go several leagues under to go see a sunken ship that you already knew about that had no survivors?"
That shit can't break.
I definitely want to see what y'all talking about.
It's a madhouse, is what it is.
It really is.
So,
I just feel like that's how the Middle Passage started. I just don't want to be invited to no boats.
I just feel bad for the HR department because you know at this point, it's like if you're the HR department for that submersible company, you're like, I quit.
There is no what HR are you stopping?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot of HR talk.
Stop it.
That's why it's been a lot of talk of HR in our chat. So it was just like Will and Tafari had a day. I guess they had a day. Yeah. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Leave it to Tafari.
and that's why I don't mess with the sea. That statement right there is why I don't mess with the sea.
Man. On that note, this is why we might as well get into the news. So, this man seems to be the talk of the town right now.
I mean, come on.
In so many aspects. I'm talking about Batman. We'll be talking about Batman and Friends on Thursday.
Batman.
So,
you changed your hat, Will. I'm sorry. I just noticed his hat.
Yeah, he changed his hat.
Your hat. You got a different hat.
This was an accident. I will have the appropriate attire on Thursday.
I'm just clocking you. Anyway,
listen. I'm gonna go down with the ship. I called out to Billy.
We just got through talking about
we might fall a little short of Billy.
I cannot afford another ship computer. We're not rocking with that kind of cash.
I'm gonna go down with the ship, not just after the Titanic story.
Oh my God! So, Lord, the cackle is the cackle for me.
I'm sorry.
So Jensen Ackles, who already has played Red Hood in the animated features of for the DC universe, and currently is the voice of Batman, and I think 3 of their animated films, is not opposed to playing Batman himself or Batman Brave and the Bold.
Why not?
I'm here for it.
I am here for it. I am not gonna lie. I would take him up on that offer.
Is everybody going to be okay? So I'm confused because I know that James said like I know him.
we need to know James.
Jimmy. He said that he's going with a younger Superman. So is this Brave and the Bold going to be a younger iteration of everybody, or is it going to be older?
I know that he has Damian, and I'm saying, and I'm like, okay, it must not be early Batman, like just fresh back off the boat or off the plane from training Batman.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like year 7.
At best.
Probably, it must
At
be
best.
year 7 Batman.
At best. I'm giving him that at best. So he's got to be his late 20s, early 30s, somewhere around there.
His first date with Tyler didn't go
Jensen's
well.
about 40s.
That's what I'm saying, lady.
Yeah, Jensen's at his 40s now, so I don't know about
Jensen's
that.
in his 40s, but I mean, he's playing Soldier Boy, and
I mean, yeah.
Soldier Boy, but he older too.
I don't know, technically Soldier Boy was frozen. But yeah.
He was frozen.
That part.
He was frozen.
No, the hat is gorgeous. No. I'm not shit. No, the hat is appropriate. He should have always been wearing that hat. However,
oh my God, these years, Lord of
Shut
mercy.
up.
It's always Tafari, isn't he? Shout out to Tafari. But yeah, he's not opposed to playing it. He said he would be upset if Pedro Pascal got it because Pedro Pascal is getting everything.
Everything.
Listen,
doing
I would be
everything.
upset. Got it. He should know like enough already.
He's like, don't put him in everything.
Everything.
So what it is, that's just kind of the thing. Also in comics, which kind of blew the lid off of this one, Anthony Edward Stark and Emma Grace Frost are getting married.
When?
This-
Who? When?
This is the greatest still in probably all of comics. 'Cause look how entirely salty all of the X-Men look.
Yeah.
Because we're all asking the same question.
How?
Why?
Look at
Is it now here's my thing. Is it a marriage of convenience like Kingpin is with Typhoid Mary? Because Typhoid Mary is a mutant. So she's on Krakoa. And Kingpin, in order to escape all his past crimes, including being a corrupt mayor of New York City, has married Typhoid Mary. So by law, he's allowed to be on Krakoa.
True.
Okay, can I keep
So
it
that's a
simple?
marriage of convenience. So now is this also a marriage of convenience? And then how?
I was gonna say because Stark's relationship record does not bode well if that's the case.
Hey.
Neither does Emma's.
But aren't they both
That is also true.
assholes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's it.
So it's a marriage of convenience.
That's it. Not convenience. It's what is it? Mutually assured destruction.
Oh, definitely that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's a given.
I want a good close up of Scott Summers as that's happening because
you
I
got
know
to
he
look
is.
at Scott.
I couldn't
Like-
find him in the picture.
He's there, but
He's there, but you can't. It's not really zoomed in on him.
And his
Yeah.
face is still so tight.
he's
He
like
is-
right there.
He is holding a girl's hand and still big mad watching his other babe get married. This is
Yeah, I mean,
This is
mad.
like he's been
it he is given 1,000-yard stare. That's about the best way I could put it. Like he's they're holding Jean Grey, but it's like a man that just got told that we are out of Big Macs at McDonald's space.
After
Big
the
Macs.
wedding, Scott is going to be outside dancing in the rain like it's B2K.
Oh, not the Ray J. Not the One Wish Ray J. No,
Right.
That was a great
Oh.
reference.
It works.
That was
See,
a great reference.
See, Blurred's Eye View, we're very well rounded. We
Scott going to be outside.
very well rounded. We know a lot of stuff. So this is taking place in X-Men number 26 and the continuing Invincible Iron Man number 10. It's not going to happen until September because they do a lot of these reviews like way early.
Mhm.
I just found his face.
I'm trying to figure out why.
Ooh.
And this is
I mean,
going
they're
viral.
already. This is like right after the fall of X, and they're just.
See, that's the part that I'm wondering right there. This is post the fall event. So it's like, what happens during the fall of X that brings together these two people that were not on my bingo card of 2023?
I think it is too, Angelic Empress. I
Yeah,
believe
it's
a
what
setup.
it's feeling. It's
Some
what
kind of
it's
set
giving.
is because I can't see Emma just willfully doing it, like willfully, like not using any mind powers whatsoever. Like,
Wasn't she caught up in the not the Illuminati? Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
oh, the Hellfire Galley, the
Hellfire
Hellfire.
Galley, yeah.
No. Damn, Emma Frost. She was involved in some kind of secret.
Oh, she was a part of the Mr. Sinister stuff.
Yeah,
right.
But it wasn't her. It was her clone.
Oh,
see, all the mutants have been cloned except for one,
and
that was Storm, because she kind of seen something happen. And she was like, if this is a person y'all want to trust, leave me out.
Y'all ain't get my ancestry.com DNA.
So, before we talk about this on Thursday, I do want to give a shout out to this woman here, because there are rumors that they want to do more with her in the future. And that's Sasha Cali. Now, if you've seen Flash, you'll know what we mean. She had a very good showing in the film. She had a good showing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for it. She's met with Peter Safran to discuss her future in the DCU. Jimmy G. make it work. Make it work, baby. Also, while we're still on the DC stuff, someone actually said they snuck in during that whole screening, that test screening for Batgirl, and pretty much said it was a solid film. There was parts where they could have all they needed was rewrites here and a reshoot here, but it was a solid film.
Release
Lady Mandalore, what have you?
I thought he was about to say release it.
Release the cut.
Just put it out. Like, what do you got to lose? What do you have to lose now?
I think there was a guy with a suitcase at the end of the movie theater, like, release the cut. Just
there's like a crowd of men sitting over to the corner. They're like, what are they doing? Oh, they're the executives of what?
It's like a guy waiting on the password. It's like, what is the password? Batgirl. Release the cut.
And he's doing like this the whole time. Someone's there in the corner with the finger like this. And
I don't mean to turn him into a German, but I can just only imagine somebody back there like, I'm just waiting on that one person I know is going to leak, and I'm just waiting on that one individual.
Like they pick up a phone, you don't know where the phone comes from. It was like, release the cut. It's just one of those things. Oh my God. So yeah, somebody get Ryan Reynolds on the phone.
He'd be the first suspect.
He's quick to release something and then fade away.
He'd be the first suspect when they start asking, was it you? Yes, it was me.
It was me all along.
This is the Game of Thrones. Tell them
it was me.
I want them to know. Deadpool sends his regards.
Yes. So, as you know, we Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has done an amazing job, and it's still showing. Go support it. Already probably it's probably at 900 million. It's probably at 900 million now. But our very own Tafari TV has some couple theories that a lot of us should be working on. So check this out.
Okay, I think we've got enough in attendance. Ben, pay attention. Sorry, I was brooding about how my muscles in perfect pose weren't enough to get the job done last mission. And that's why we're here, so we can all discuss what the hell happened. I'll tell you what happened. You're too damn hard on the kid. Hey, I'm in charge of this whole operation, which means I'm in charge of making sure all of reality doesn't fall apart. So are two requirements of that position being the only unfunny Spider-Man and a total dick to teens? Ay, Dios mío, I hate you so much. He is a walking anomaly and breaking the canon. I have questions about that. Yes. So the kid's canon event is that his dad dies, right? Because Spot kills him. Yeah. Which right now is still on track because he escaped. I mean, if you want to get technical. But if Gwen had caught him, what was the plan? Aren't you technically disrupting the canon by sending her on that mission in the first place? Yeah, this all starts with the Collider and the Spider. Isn't Kingpin and basically every Alchemix the real problem? What are you both trying to say? That this whole damn thing is your fault. Why are you even here? I was told you quit. Then we got a chance to tell you and couldn't pass that up. Found your broken watch, by the way. You know these don't grow on trees, right? I have to build them. I see you got a day pass, but How did you get here? Easy. Hitched a ride, mate. What? The only person you said couldn't come was Miles? He's just mad because his silly little sister hasn't made a lick of sense since the beginning. Explain. You go on and on fussing at us about canon events. Meanwhile, you had a whole holiday in someone else's universe. Not because of a Gwen or Uncle Ben, because you were lonely. And then you kind of built this whole system around your negative experience. You basically Lotso from Toy Story. Throw in the fact that all of this is the result of you having one bad day. Bit of a Joker complex in there too. All of you piss off. Next order of business. Getting Miles out of the wrong dimension. Where did he end up anyway? Lila, pull up Earth 42.
There's no Spider-Man here.
Bloody hell. Good God. Yeah, I don't think he exists there, and neither does Spider-Man. This is what happens when you disrupt the canon. And yet that world is still standing. Not the point. Okay, but if the canon is just having a Spider-Man, there's like 1,000 of us here. Why not just send us over there in shifts? That's not New York anymore. That's Gotham City. Is he allowed to say that? Legally? There's no anomalies there, so we haven't had a reason to go. Wait, if I don't meet Miles, I don't fix my marriage or have a kid, so is my daughter an anomaly? Status pending, but as someone who was literally there when I lost mine, I would appreciate it if you stopped rubbing her in my face every chance you get. It's a bit insensitive. You know what? You're totally right. I never even thought about it that way. That's my bad. But let's at least suit up and go get the kid. And that's my final order of business. Everybody needs to show up here mission ready from now on. No more just popping up wearing whatever. Are you really enforcing a dress code? Yes. He's been showing up like that for weeks and you haven't said a thing. Hey, whoa. Don't drag me into this. I'm just on my way to the cafeteria. I'm not part of this personal tiff you two got going on. Hope the kid's having more fun than us right now. Who are you?
I'm Miles Morales.
Gotta let me go. Or our dad.
Your dad.
Alright, I ain't got time for this blah 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 blah. Something funny, don't watch the mouth, watch the hands.
That was good.
That was good.
Shout out to Safari to
Yes.
you for that one.
He is with it.
All I could think of was like, let me get back to the notepad because Jesus, he's right. Oh man, shout out to Safari. People was loving it. They already saying it.
Mhm.
Facts. Shout out to Otaku Noir. They loving it. They love it. More skits coming away. So we have our special guest tonight, Hotep for Black Lion and Cubs, along with his own Cubs.
Nah.
You're on mute. And so we're going to talk about all the projects that you have going that are launched. The big launch that's coming up in July, and everything, just everything. So tell us a little about yourself.
Where you want me to start, man? I got a lot to say. I'm almost 50 years old, so I got 50 years of history and stories to tell. Tell me where to start.
All right, so you're an educator. Are you still a teacher?
No, I retired from teaching back in 2010 to build my consulting practice. So I currently spend my time working with schools and school districts around the country, training teachers, helping principals, and developing curriculum to help schools perform at a higher level.
That's what's up.
What's up?
We need these are the types of teachers we need because you've seen something in the upcoming generation, I should say. You've seen something in the upcoming generation that was missing. And as you said, you retired in 2010. You started doing the consulting. What made you want to start consulting?
Well, I was having good success in the classroom. I taught elementary school, 5th grade, and also 5 years of kindergarten. So working with the young ones is something I have a lot of experience with. And ultimately, I had great success in the individual school that I was working at. And I felt that, because I've always been an entrepreneur, that it was time to spread my wings and share those best practices that I was implementing in one classroom to multiple classrooms all around the country and ultimately around the world. So that's how I got into, I transitioned basically at that point.
So now you started consulting, and you're consulting all these businesses.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into the blurred space, or back into the blurred space?
Yes. I have to preface this to say that I'm back in it. I can't say I'm an OG blurred, if you will, right? And I don't even really consider myself to be a blurred, but because there was none of this term back when I was into comics and cartoons and video games. I grew up in the 80s. You're gonna have to be quiet, son. You have to be quiet. Okay. I grew up in the 80s, so my reference for cartoons, comics, and video games is regular NES, not even Super NES, but the original Super Mario Brothers, Mega Man, Castlevania, Rygar, Bionic Commando, all those games. That's what I came up on. Mega Man, that's right, my boy. And then for cartoons, Transformers, Voltron, Thundercats. Those are, before anyone even heard of what anime was, that was, our orientation. In fact, a lot of the work that I do now in animation comes from what I used to watch with Voltron. I'll talk about that later. But then even in the comic books, John Byrne as an artist, Frank Miller when he used to draw Wolverine, and he got famous by doing that original Wolverine series. And then ultimately, when I left back in '91, the whole comic scene, it was centered around when Todd McFarlane made a name around doing the Spider-Man and the creation of Venom character. And I think he had just created Spawn when I left the game to go to college. So '91 from like 80, from the mid '80s to '91 is really my whole orientation when it comes to the blurred space, as you call it, comics, cartoons.
That's considered. I think that's considered the golden age. No, the silver age.
Yeah,
that's the silver age of comics.
It matches my hair,
So we don't do quizzes unless you're really ingrained, and then Lady Mandalore has to rein me in.
Sir.
I ask some diabolical quizzing questions when it comes to nerd stuff. You mentioned cartoons, and I know you have an anime. This is just one of the projects you have on the docket. Let's talk about this cartoon that you have coming up.
Okay, so Black Lion and Cubs is I consider to be more of a movement in art and culture, right? And I call it that because it's multimedia. I have multiple mediums that I'm launching at the same time. I have the anime cartoon, but I also have the comic. I have 3 video games that have been completed thus far. I have what else do I have? And I have obviously T-shirts for merch, posters, the album. So I have an audiobook series to go along with the cartoon and the comic. Releasing a collector's card deck series. So, people will be able to, for all the images that I have, if you can't afford the posters and all the T-shirts, but you want the entire collection, you can have it on the card decks. I have multiple mediums, and I'm constantly creating. I have other things that I'm coming up with. I have a kids book that I'll be releasing as well with the same characters, because ultimately I'm not new to the space of creation. Everything that you're hearing me spit out right now are things that I've created in the past for some of my previous brands. And now this is Black Lion and Cubs is a culmination of all of those things. Ultimately, Black Lion and Cubs came out as a result of fatherhood. You see what I'm saying? So, you've heard, for those of you that are parents, you've heard parents talk about how parenthood allows you to relive your childhood, right? So in a sense, I'm reliving my own childhood through my boys. But because I'm an entrepreneur, I don't just have them consume the content that I share it with. I say, hey, you know what? You guys like Transformers, you like, Voltron, you like whatever it is we're watching on TV. Well, shoot, Daddy can create that. You understand? And I can create it in a way that shows our faces, because if you watch that stuff back in the 80s, you never saw us. You know what I'm saying? We were totally absent. As much as we loved it, we weren't in there. You know what I'm saying? We were. You'd be hard pressed to see a character that looked like us. So, I say, hey, if you guys like it, then Daddy's going to create it, and I'm going to create it in a way that speaks to our values, our morals, our culture, our history. Of course, it's going to be educational, because that's just the work that I do. And, and ultimately, it's important that the messages that come through these mediums is empowering. That's a big theme in my household. Themes like believing in yourself, being brave, having confidence, and earning. Those types of messages are important to me in my own personal household. So now I'm able to take those messages, put them on the big screen, put it in the anime space, and the kids are able to be heroes and be brave and show their powers. And so, that's right. There you go. Come on, let them know. All right. So, I'm just having a ball with it. And okay, so all right. So I'm just very grateful to have this opportunity, and also to have the experience and the ability to be in a place in my life where I'm able to create at will, to create for the sheer desire and purpose of creation in itself. Of course, eventually I plan to monetize everything that I create, but the truth of the matter is, this is a passion project, and I'm passionate about my children, obviously, right? So if they love it, that's all that matters to me. But I hope a lot of other people love it too. And I'm hoping that I can make this brand, Black Lion and Cubs, as big as those previous ones have been. Big as Dragon Ball Z was and Naruto is today. You see,
right? So let's talk about let's talk about the cartoon. So this is obviously this is you and your boys.
Yes,
this is just a play on you and your boys. I can enjoy art that is just simple. It's not too much going on. This is a sneak preview from one of the cartoons, or from the episode 1 of the cartoon. Let's talk about the backstory of this cartoon. Like, what's it about?
Okay, so I wanted when I decided to create a story and ultimately a universe around Black Lion and Cubs. So first of all, let me just give a little background. See, I came up in the 80s. Some of you, and I was a big kung fu head back in the days. Like, my father used to take us to 42nd Street. I'm from New York, and we used to watch, all those kung fu movies. Before Wu-Tang Clan, I'm talking about. That was a lifestyle. We used to go to 42nd Street and go to the kung fu theaters on that block, and there were several of them throughout the street. So one of the series that I became acquainted with through comics and through kung fu was a series called Lone Wolf and Cub. Now, Lone Wolf and Cub was a story about a samurai. I believe he lost his master and he lost his way, but he had a young child that he had to navigate the world with. And so he used to push around this cart and, fight the enemies, and even got his little son involved in it, So when I decided I was going to do something with my kids, I just pulled together everything that my own experience my own experience was familiar with, and that's how I kind of came up with Black Lion and Cubs. The fact that obviously I'm Black, but then because of my hair, people used to say I look like a lion, and so all these things came together. The silver in the hair, so anyway. Fast forward to now, I wanted to create a series and a universe that was family friendly. That's number one. So what differentiates my brand is that it's family friendly. You won't hear any cursing. You won't see any ultra violence, no pulling out blood and guts, and even punching. You don't see any punching or kicking in my series, because that's not something I want my children to be doing, especially to each other, right? Because that's what happens at home first. So the series is centered around a Nubian warlord, right, who has decided and committed his life to peace after he's experienced the trials and tribulations of warfare, and seeing that, we've been fighting for so many years. I've been fighting well, a well-known warrior, but fighting doesn't get us anywhere. It just leads to more fighting. So he decided to commit to a life of peace. Now, for those that don't know, my name is Hotep. Hotep means peace, you see? And so this is how I'm bringing in our family, our values and such, and our culture into this brand. So Black Lion, he's decided that, fighting is not for me anymore. I'm going to commit to a lifestyle of peace. So he goes back home from Upper Egypt to his home in Nubia. And in Nubia is where he has his sons, okay? And his sons are there, and he basically says, I'm going to commit to a lifestyle of peace, but I have to make sure that our home is protected. So he teaches his sons the art of warfare and also the spiritual arts, the majestic and magical spiritual arts of Ma'at, M-A-A-T. So Ma'at is where is the balance of life in the mystical African, particularly Egyptian mythology, if you will. And so that's why you see on the characters on the left and right, you see the images from Egyptian mythology, the Ankh and the symbol of the Duat. And Black Lion wears the eye of Horus on his band. And so he teaches his children the spiritual warfare, the spiritual art, so that they can access their powers whenever needed. And the whole idea is, hey, they were only going to use these powers if they were ever attacked by outsiders that came to Nubia and attempted to invade or colonize, if you will, their land, right? But what had happened is, although that was the intention of him, his intention, they're called upon for a variety of other reasons that were unintended. And that's how they start getting on these adventures and missions to help protect protect the king of Upper Egypt, which he used to work for, and against all the different forces and challenges that they might come across. And so that's the basic story. There's a queen. So, obviously, I have 2 children because they came through a woman who's my wife, and I found a creative way to integrate her into the story. But I didn't make her. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to give too much of the story. Bottom line, there's a lot of twists and turns in it. I'm deep in the storytelling because that's just what I've been doing for a long time. And so that's the basics that I'll share for now. But the story gets a lot deeper, and there's a lot of twists and turns within it to keep people engaged, keep people interested. So it's not just, a flat story with only 3 characters.
I'm not going to hold you. The fact that you have it that detailed and know where you want the story to go is enough.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It says enough. And the fact that you went and you said it's basically a non-violent type of atmosphere. No blood and guts and everything. It's different. It's this man, it's his children, it's this world that they live in. It's talking about our history, and it's putting it in a positive light where it's just kind of, we know about all of this other stuff, but we need to talk about this here, but put it in the fantasy aspect. So it engages not just children, but adults alike. So, and I like that aspect.
So that's the plan. Thank you for that. I wanted to balance it. I wanted it to be family friendly. So I didn't want it to make it just kiddie. You understand? Like, it's appropriate for children, but I believe, and you guys will let me know once we launch on the 17th, if parents can enjoy it as well. I would say that the type of animation that you'll see is more similar to Dragon Ball Z, where the characters are more displaying and flexing power. You understand? That's really what's happening in my stories is the characters have great power. They're displaying it, using the hand movements and gestures like you see my son doing right now. So they're demonstrating that within themselves, they have great power. They're flexing that power and utilizing that power to defeat the enemies, if you will. But the enemies are doing the same things. It's a flexing of power, unique power, different power, based off of confidence, self-esteem, belief, and strategy. The other thing that I included in every episode is a lesson. So Black Lion's role in all of this, when they run into an enemy, if you will, Black Lion does not engage in any kind of battle. It's only his sons engage in battle. Black Lion, his role is to protect as a father, and the way he protects as a father is by creating a dimension-shifting force field around everybody that's engaged in battle. And so his job is he creates this force field around everybody so the environment that they're fighting in or competing in is protected, so they don't destroy everything around them, and it allows the battle to occur as benignly as possible. So it allows them to fight, but it protects everyone on the outside. So that's his role. So he gets into a meditative position using the peace signs, right? He gets in these peace signs. You'll always see Black Lion with these peace signs. And that's him in his meditative position. That's right. Show him how to do it, son. There you go. Okay. That's right. And so that's his role. So it's the children that are fighting. They take on the battles. And but again, I wanted to make sure that it's family friendly, appropriate for everybody. So again, I'm hoping that that'll be the response that I get as well. Mm-hmm.
This is what I like. I like this. Now, did you guys want to ask him anything?
I was gonna have questions, but he kind of blew my mind.
No, go ahead.
You kind of answered my questions.
I'm just the captain of the ship. I can't steer it all.
I can't say anything beyond the fact that I love first and foremost educators. I always have a soft spot for them. You guys, you guys to me have one of the greatest professions that really doesn't get the recognition nor accolades that you guys deserve because of what you guys do. Even more so that I respect you for that. I respect you that you're wanting to give your sons and other kids out there, you want to give them something different, but you also want to inspire them. Like you said, you want to be able to, inspire your sons to, to be brave, to not be scared, to move forward, to take chances. And you want to do so in a format that not only reaches them, but reaches others. And I love that mission. I can't really think of anything else I could really ask you outside of what you've already said, which, like I said, you blew through my questions as far as, how did you come to this? How did you come to this mission? How did you decide that animation was going to be the vehicle that you wanted it to be? But you kind of already blew through all that. So, I mean, unless you guys got questions, he kind of blew through my list already.
Well, I wanted to share something else because I did an interview a week or two ago, and it's interesting. I've come to this point in the creation of Black Lion and Cubs through several different experiences, right? So I tell people, one, my children, my niece lived down in the basement of my house here. Her and her boyfriend were big anime fans, so they were showing my children anime of today. So my children would come upstairs from the basement and they say, "Oh, we saw this or we saw," and I said, "What is that? What are y'all talking about?" And my niece would say, "Oh, we were watching anime downstairs." I said, "Oh, you guys like that? Oh, Daddy can do that." So that was one way that I came to this. But then the other day I was watching. I have a private YouTube channel where a lot of my creations are that most people don't know about. Because as I tell people, I'm able to create at will and at a very quick pace because I'm not new to production, right? And storytelling. I've been doing it for many years through a previous brand. My previous brand was with the Hustle Brothers. So I had I had two characters called the Hustle Brothers, which were fashioned off of myself and my best friend. The Hustle Brothers are two cool cats. They make school and education cool, and they have sunglasses, and they're all about entrepreneurship and leadership. So under the Hustle Brothers brand, I already had coloring books, and I had cartoons and songs that I had already developed, and I made educational videos for that. Hold on, slow down, son, slow down. Okay, listen. But I realized as we were watching, because some of their favorite songs are some of the Hustle Brothers music videos that I created. As I was watching that the other day, I said, you know what? This is kind of, hold on, son. This is how I kind of came to. This is how I kind of came. You guys are gonna have to go now. You'll go sit over there with mom. Go ahead. All right. All right.
They did good. They held. They held.
Oh wow!
High five, son. High five. You did a good job. Thank you.
Especially the little one. The little one was so
He
held the line.
He was watching something on the phone.
It looked like it was though.
So what I noticed through watching the videos that I had created with the Hustle Brothers is that it was them watching and enjoying the Hustle Brothers videos that made me think, man, you guys like these characters here. I'd like to create characters around them. So this is how it started, right? So I'm thinking about the Hustle Brothers. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make my sons the new Hustle Brothers, right? Because they're brothers. I said, you guys are gonna be the new Hustle Brothers. And so I started getting into the thoughtfulness of how can I include my children in what I'm creating here. And so it was a combination of what I was already doing with the Hustle Brothers, and then seeing their response to anime that said, hey, let me take the whole combination of two characters, the brothers together, fashion that in an anime space and create something totally new where they can see themselves. Gotcha. And so that's kind of another pathway to Black Lion and Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, look, we all got kids. You fine.
So we know. Except for Lady Mandalore.
except for one person. Except Lady Mandalore doesn't have kids. The rest of us, we get it. Well, I guess it does. I guess. Oh, thank you for that. But I was saying, thank you for jogging my memory on that. So I was going to ask you about the video game aspect, because what led you to that? Because I know for a lot of things, like you said, you wanted to show that, that we can be represented in animation and things of that nature. What led you to actually think that, video games would be the next step. Just wondering.
Yeah. Well, I already had video games for the Hustle Brothers. So everything that I share with you guys that I create is something that I've already created for a different brand, right? Okay. I'm familiar with that space. Ultimately, that's why I say Black Lion and Cubs isn't just an anime. It's really more of a movement of art and culture. My vision for all of this is, how can I create a brand that is comprehensive of as many different formats and mediums of visual artistry, that's also creative and something different than what other people may typically do. The great thing that I learned as an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur since 1996 when I released my first album on cassette and was selling cassettes out the trunk. So I learned entrepreneurship in the music industry, and then from the music industry to the film industry, and then from the film industry to the book publishing industry. So I've been telling stories and sharing my thoughts and ideas through multiple mediums and formats for a long time. The thing that I learned is, in every independent industry, you have people tend to do things the industry way. In the music industry, what we did is, in order to get on, what you do is you make a demo, you take the demo to the radio station or to the record label, let the label listen to it. If they like it, they'll put you on, right? Film industry, same thing. You shoot a trailer or make a treatment, write a story, go to Hollywood, and then knock on doors, see if somebody will produce your film, right? In book publishing, you write a treatment, or you write a query letter, send it to the publishers in New York, say, hey, will you guys put me on? But I've never been the type person to sit around and wait for other people to greenlight me. You know what I'm saying? I operate like a boss. I'm a bona fide hustler. I don't wait for opportunity. I create it. And so now I'm doing that in this space. It's a culmination of all of that. But again, I want to do things. I don't want to be the dime a dozen artist in any industry, right? I want to be the diamond in the rough. And the way I become the diamond in the rough is by differentiating myself from what everybody else is doing. So that's the reason why Black Lion and Cubs, first and foremost, is family friendly. Outside everything else I said, it's important that I differentiate what we're doing from everyone else. Video games is just another example of that. While everybody's doing their Kickstarters and launching a comic and doing a comic, I don't want to do that. Y'all do the comic. I'm gonna do the video game. You understand? Because that puts me in a different light, in a different perspective, and allows me to make and generate more attention and noise in a quicker amount of time, because it's not dime a dozen. It's diamond in the rough. You see
right.
So that's kind of, and then like I said, I'm a fan of video. Well, from back in my days, I'm a fan of it. So that's why video games had to be a part of Black Lion and Cubs movement.
Before we get going into the video game round, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're talking to Hotep of Black Lion and Cubs. This man is all around everything. It's like it's not a list long enough. This brother is doing it all. He puts his mind to it and he does it. But we'll be right back right after this. Wait a minute. There we go.
This just in.
Feeling groggy in the morning? Coffee just can't give you that pep in the step that you're looking for? Try Pop Starts for that great get up and go that adults need. Pop Starts has the vitamin and nutrients that only grown-ups can partake in, and with flavors such as tossed salad and scrambled eggs, and Jack Daniels and Bud Light flavors to start your day or end it. There's nothing better to wake up to unless you count that depressing cubicle job. Well, anyway, try Pop Starts today. Pop Starts is not part of the Kellogg's Corporation. Pop Starts could give you diarrhea. Pop Starts are not found in your local grocery store.
I was eating. What commercial? Hi there. This is a commercial break. This is your reminder to peep the podcast on all platforms and drop them a follow. And these are some more popular episodes that you can go ahead and check out after this one. Okay, I think I've bought them enough time for whatever they're doing behind me. Cut it, Chris. Going back to my damn sandwich.
We are with Hotep of Black Lion and Cubs and Hustle University and his consulting company. This man is all over the place. He's about the business. He's all about the business. He's on the business. and this is why me and him are starting to work together. So let's talk about this video game, because I was able to play like the beta version of it, and it was giving NES. It's side scrolling, it's fun, it passes the time. Let's talk about that.
So I have 3 games. And each of the games is loosely based off of the 3 series. So all right, let me step back. So Black Lion and Cubs, I'm launching multiple formats and series of Black Lion and Cubs all at the same time. There's 3 series that I've created. The first series is called Valley of the Kings. The second series is called The Sands of Time, and the third one is called Culture Clash. I might change that title, but it's called Culture Clash right now. Each one has a totally different story. So for each of those 3 stories of the comic book and the cartoon, I also created a video game for. The one that Chris is talking about is the video game for Valley of the Kings. In the story of Valley of the Kings, the characters have to visit different parts of Africa, collect scrolls, and have to decipher the hieroglyphics on the scrolls in order to access the next clue in order to save the queen, okay? The queen of Upper Egypt, who's been loosely, if you will, kidnapped, at least taken by the king of Lower Egypt. So the whole thing right now is there's a big battle going on between the pharaoh of Upper Egypt and the pharaoh of Lower Egypt. The pharaoh of Lower Egypt wants control of the entire continent, if you will, but he has to get through the other pharaoh, the major pharaoh in the story. So Valley of the Kings is a side-scrolling game. It would remind you of, like I said, it would remind you more of a Castlevania slash it's more like a Castlevania type of game, for those that remember that one.
Yeah.
And then thank you. That's why
It's just simple and it's just straight to it's fun. If for those out there listening, if you've ever played any kind of side-scrolling game, it's not difficult. It's not a bunch of button mashing or anything like that. It's straight like NES style. Think Ninja Turtles, think Castlevania, think just all types of just side scrollers.
I don't know if we want to use Ninja Turtles as a reference thoh.
Unless you're using that gap that nobody can never cover. But it's fun, it's simple, the graphics are clean and crisp, it's not convoluted or anything like that. And I think it's just something, it's a callback. It's a callback. And you stated that, how you were, you don't consider yourself a blurred, but you're a blurred because you were on the launch pad of what blurred this generation of blurred has recognized. So seeing stuff like that and playing that beta version of that game, and I'm like, yo, and I was at work and I'm like, yo, I don't need to be doing this right now.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, big brother. Like I said, everything for me, I'm the people that will really enjoy what I create through Black Lion and Cubs are people that either remember the 80s or love the 80s culture. You understand? And the creations of the 80s, because that's all I know. You understand? I don't know today. I don't know what the landscape is. I don't know what video games are today. I don't know. I see commercials. I don't know how they're played. I don't know what people are doing. If I'm thinking about video game, all I can go back to is the games I referred to earlier. So when I decided to create one, that was my reference point, you see. Besides Valley of the Kings, I have another one that's more like a skills test game. That's it's called Contest of Champions. So I'm kind of going between, for those of you that know Marvel, know where I got the Contest of Champions title from, right? Again, everything's throwback. I'm like a throwback king in this game, right? And you know what I'm saying? And you'll even see that even in the 8-bit style of the characters. I use 8-bit character styles more, more so because that's what I remember, that's what I enjoy. And also to differentiate myself. Again, everybody that thinks video games, they think more complicated, high graphics, that stuff is super expensive, takes a long time to create. But now if you go throwback, you're dealing with simplicity, you're dealing with less money and ease of use and of creation, which for a lot of people, that's why you may not have to do Kickstarters and raise $20,000 just to create a video game. It might just cost you $1,500. You know what I'm saying? It can be. And again, that's just thinking outside of the box and thinking like an entrepreneur. You see what I'm saying? Not just a visionary, not just a creator. So we have Contest of Champions, which is a skills test game, and the third one is a I guess more of a throwback to Elevator Action. Now, some of you guys might remember Elevator Action. I had my designer. I told him that I wanted a game that kind of, let you get on elevators up and down and find things. You see, so Elevator Action is the third one. That's the Sands of Time game, and so they're in a pyramid, and they have to collect. In Sands of Time, they have to collect hourglasses, right? And they're collecting the hourglasses, going up different lifts through the pyramid to get to the top. And each level is each character in my story gets a certain level. So the first level might be, one cub. When he gets to the top, he tags the next cub, and now you're playing with the next cub. So this is how I'm able to integrate, multiple characters in my stories by that kind of tag function that I utilize.
He just hit all nostalgia points. Oh man, Laney, Cinematic Assassin, what y'all want to ask?
I think for me, it's not just a question. I'm also a fellow educator, been teaching since 2002, and now I'm a dean. So it's just really inspiring to see life beyond that. You know what I mean? That you are pursuing your blurred dream, and still you did your thing as an educator. So I just give you snaps for that, because that's dope, and that's where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Doing that kind of thing in like 5 years. So it's just really cool to see.
So sure, you contact me, it's gonna take you 5 years, give me 5 months, I have to make that happen. It's just like that. I'm serious. I mean, that's what the position that I'm in right now.
Well, listen, consulting is maybe what I want to do in 3 years. Maybe. So that's something else too.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. That's part of the reason. That's also what's going to differentiate the Black Lion and Cubs brand, and part of the reason why it was important for me to make it family friendly, because ultimately I have to integrate this in the work that I'm currently doing. I can't bring in blood and guts and some of that pornography stuff I see in anime and then try to introduce that to my schools. They ain't going for that. You see what I'm saying? It's inappropriate. And so there's some people that I know that would love to get into schools, but they're not going to be able to, simply because of the amount of violence that they have. So they might have good messages, but it's too much violence, too many guns, and themes that are inappropriate for schools. And again, because they don't understand that, it's going to cut off their opportunities to do business with schools. But because I'm coming at this differently, that's the first thing I'm thinking about, is how can I integrate my anime or multimedia movement into the schoolwork that I'm doing. And so that's part of the reason why it's family friendly. It's part of the reason there's no guns, no inappropriate language, nothing of a sexual nature. All those things are out of this, to also, one, because of my own children. I want to make sure that I'm able to, because that's what this is all about. And let me be clear. This here is for my 2 boys you see on the side there. That's who it's all about. But now I'm able to scale it through business and through the schools. So, that's why I said I have a kids book coming out as well. Right. So the kids book is going to feature dope, all the dope art from my characters, but in a way that, but has messages that are appropriate for school. So now I'm able to bridge the gap and marry that whole, the coolness of anime, because anime is dope, super dope and cool, but then also have, important messages for the children that they can consume in schools. And the kids book is just one thing. I have several different products getting ready for schools this August.
The man moves.
We definitely need to talk. I work at a K-8 school.
Okay. Hey, listen, wait. Look, the term SEL, for example, right? So a lot of my work falls under SEL, right?
Okay.
And so that's part of how, it's just, hey, listen, I do this thing. I does this. Yeah. You see?
Yeah, that's dope.
And I'm hoping that, and I really want to inspire and motivate. The reason why I pulled together so many people for my July 17th launch, people like Lady Mandalore and my brother Chris here, is I wanted to pull together people that are part of today's blurred community out of respect and deference, but then also to pull together people that are thinking and operating on a different level. This is what I learned. I'm an artist. You see, I'm an artist first. But I don't associate myself with the whole starving artist mentality, the whole underground movement mentality. I've been a part of that, like I said, in the 90s in the music industry, where you have people that are incredibly talented, dope MCs, freestyle all day, but they're poor. They ain't got no money. You understand? And then you have these people that have no talent, no skill, and they're getting all the loot. You know what I'm saying? You looking at these people like, yo, who these people? Who these clowns? They can't rap. You know what I'm saying? Their production is whack. You know what I'm saying?
I've been asking myself that for the past 15 years.
Yeah, and so it's like that. What I've learned is it's like that in particularly every creative industry. You have these two groups of people, and those of us that are really, the real creative visionary people that are moving the culture aren't the same ones that are also benefiting financially from the culture. And I said, you know what, that's not me. That ain't me. I ain't gonna associate myself. So when people say, hey, I'm underground, I said, no, I'm not in the underground. I'm independent. You see, it's a different spirit. Underground and independence is two different things. I don't want to be underground because the sun don't reach the underground. You see, I love the sunlight. You see, I want to get all the sunlight, but I am independent, meaning I'm able to operate on my own. I don't wait for other people to give me permission to do what I want to do. So ultimately now, I've been through that iteration back in the music, back in film, and in the independent publishing game. Now I'm doing that here to help inspire and motivate other people that are in this space to think similar. Say, hey, man, come on. It's dope to honor anime, you know what I'm saying, and Japanese culture, but what about Black culture? What about African culture? How do those people that create anime feel about you as a Black person? You out here wearing all their stuff and dressing in all their clothes. The owner of that, does he respect you as a Black person? Does he respect Black culture? How do they demonstrate that? Or is it like Tommy Hilfiger, you know what I'm saying, where we wear their clothes and they talk trash, or Timberland, you know what I'm saying, we idolize people who can't stand us. And so, you know what I'm saying, I'm seeing that now in the anime space. We used to say the white man's ice is colder, and that's the reason why we defer to white people. But in this space, it seems like we treat the Japanese ice like it's colder. What they create more than we respect that more than what we create. And I'm tired of it. I'm on my Malcolm X maneuvers right now. You understand? My Marcus Garvey. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm about that life. I'm about power moves. I'm about ownership, because there's too much for that slave ship out there. So I want to motivate and inspire all of us in this space now who've never heard of me, right? To come and see someone who's coming out of left field in 6 months, swinging with video games and cartoons and comic books and coloring books and kids books and albums. Like, how do you do that in 5 months? I know some people in 5 years ain't create a fraction of that. You understand? So, but again, it's a different mentality, a different mindset, and I'm hoping that I can lead by my example and bring together people who are in this space and say, hey, man, look, there's a different way. You can do it differently. You can do it better. You can and be in control of it and honor your culture and also make some money too, right? So you don't have to do Kickstarters. You ain't got to, wait for people to give. Nah, you got your own money. So you can create at will, for the shared joy of creation. Because isn't that what art is really about? You understand? I'm sorry, y'all got me talking, man.
Look, no, this is what I want. Because see, look, I seen the interview that Lady Mandalore did with you on her show. And what I really appreciated is when you explained why you were creating what you were creating and the reasoning behind what you were creating, because there are certain factions out there who say the same thing, but they leave that next half off. And they never catch, they don't make that connection. They don't make that connection about, hey, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for your kids. I'm doing this because we need to be seen. This platform is always about us being seen and taking our ownership back, of what we create, so, and that's what I really appreciated. And I said, see, that's the difference between you and some of these other camps who don't get it, who don't say it, who don't feel it, or don't even act it, so when I heard, I was just like, I couldn't type fast enough to say that's what I was looking for, was that type of answer from somebody who spoke, who walked, who did what he said, that took the actions, made it happen, not looking for the handout, just saying, hey, let me get on the platform. Let me show you what I can do. And then let me show you what you can do, and vice versa, and then you can go and reach back next to help the next man and sister out, and vice versa. It just keeps going.
Build the foundation.
That's right. And pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? Right. Pay it forward.
Yeah.
I got it. The creative dream. Exactly. It's the creative dream. Cinematic Assassin, what you got?
No, I was just curious. We got to see your sons a little bit earlier. how much of their personalities, I guess, was able to be transported into your fictional world? Because it sounds, I mean, clearly you have a big personality. You're running things to the launch, but it sounds like in your property, the sons maybe take more of the forefront. So how much of their personalities from their little age where they are now were you able to translate into your media?
Yeah, that's a great question. I never even anticipated someone asking a question like that. So thank you first and foremost. I've really, made a conscious decision to incorporate as much of my children's personality. And as you see, they're young. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and so and they were only 3 and 1 when I was developing this. So, for example, the son here with the Ankh. I don't know if you guys can see my. Okay, yeah. So my son here with the Ankh. This is Osaro, my youngest son. Osaro, his hair is brown. He came out, his hair was sandy brown. And it was lopsided. You know what I'm saying? When kids are young, their hair doesn't grow in the same time. But his hair was lopsided. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna play that into my character. And he's more laid back than my other son, Saladin. Saladin is hey. That's why he's always having the mean face and the wide eyes, and he has his fists because he's always about ready for action. His hair at the time was very big and bushy and wild, so I incorporated that. And then when it comes to the lessons and the stories that are being told in my cartoon and the comic, a lot of the themes are based off of themes that I'm currently talking to them about, like bravery, for example. Like Saladin, for example, right now he doesn't like going to the bathroom by himself when it's dark. You know what I'm saying? So I say, son, be brave. Aren't you Super Saladin? Right? Oh, yes, I'm Super Saladin. So, bravery for him. And he loves, one of the beautiful things is, and, I don't know how much of this I'm going to share to the public, but, my eldest son, he's really deep into African culture. Like he can tell you the names of a lot of the Egyptian places, or Thoth and Horus and Anubis. He knows these names. He can identify them. So it's just a beautiful thing to hear him speak about African culture in a way that's just so natural and matter of fact to him. In fact, he probably knows more about it than half the adults I meet. You understand? So it's a beautiful thing. So for him, because he studies the culture, I incorporate that into the story. Same with Osaro. He's a lot younger. He doesn't talk well yet, and he does. It's harder to pinpoint his personality, but one thing I do know is that he loves to hear me read. So in one of the episodes, I share how Osaro loves to hear his father read the hieroglyphics from the scroll. So things of that nature. So as much as humanly possible, because like I said, this is a very personal thing for me. This is very personal. And I've been struggling with deciding how much I let the world know how personal it really is, because I don't want people to get sometimes people get jealous about things, right? Like what I'm doing, what I am right now. I'm a father. I don't consider myself a blurred otaku. I'm a father. You understand? I'm a father first. That's what I am. And all I'm doing is honoring my children and my family through my vision with Black Lion and Cup. That's what I'm doing. Honoring my children, you see? And so it's very personal for me. And a lot of what I share and develop is for them first. Like they know. So my point is, I don't know how much I plan on letting the world, I'm talking to you guys about this here now, but I don't know how much I'm going to let the world know that it's fashioned after real people and it's just me and my kids, because sometimes it might minimize my ability to touch the rest of the world. When people don't know it's about you, then it's easier for some people to receive it because, it's not about you, it's about me, or it's about someone else. It's fictional, right? But when they know it's personal and it's about this person, it kind of disassociates for some people the fact that, that's them doing that. I want to do my thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I find that again prevalent in our community, unfortunately, in the Black community. So I hope I answered your question. That's a long answer to a short question.
Absolutely.
We touch on things that many people don't talk about or find boring because we don't do the hot button topic stuff. And we're not about the hot button topic stuff. We're about like the advancement of our people. We're about talking about topics that we see from our point of view. This is what we do, you know. So when you and I connected, and I loved your message, by the way.
Thank
You know
you.
what you're talking about is right on the line of everything that this platform is all about. And there's a couple other ones out there that's like the same way. So when you don't get too often someone who talks in this manner and knows what they're talking about, is doing what they're talking about, and got more coming on what they're talking about, you know, and they don't hold back, you know, and that's what it ain't nothing but respect. It's nothing but respect. It's nothing but that.
I do have one question, actually. I just thought about it now. I know I haven't talked a lot, but we talked a lot already.
All good.
As your boys grow, do you plan on adjusting the story to fit their age group?
Great question. I don't know. So, you know, they're so far away from that, right? They're only 2 and 4 years old right now. But I'll say this much. I'm a visionary. I'm very creative, and I think expansively. And I think about the future, to your question, to the point of your question. So, for example, I also have multiple iterations or storylines developed for my characters. So, for example, you guys remember, again, when the 80s came into the 90s, there was this thing for the Batman series called Dark Knight, all right? What Frank Miller did is he came up with a story. It was a visionary story about what Batman would be like in the future. You guys all noticed, like everybody, you all notice now, but back in 1991, when it was like 89, 90, when it first came out, it was like no one had thought about doing something like this. It was someone creating a new storyline that was in the future for Batman. Frank Miller wrote it and did the art, and it was amazing. And you never saw Batman so angry and dirty. And it was the first time you ever saw it. You guys notice this is every day right now, but back then that was revolutionary. So in any case, I did something similar for Black Lion and Cubs. I had one of my artists envision my characters in the future, and it's called the Dark Future series. I think it's what I call it, Dark Future series. And so in that series, you know, Black Lion's all his hair is white. You know, all his hair is white. His kids are grown up. So I've already been considering, you know, that type of thing. But again, I'm not sure what will happen with this series by the time my kids are teenagers. You know, all I know is I plan to keep it family friendly because I think that's important. Now that as a parent, I see the world differently. I watch TV differently. I watch children's content in particular a lot more sensitively now. And I'm like, hold on, man, that's not right. Hold on, hey, hold on. I had to turn off Finding Nemo the other day.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that.
Yeah, I love Finding Nemo. But as a father, I see certain things like, hey, hold on, man, hey, that's not. I don't want my kid repeating that. So my point is, I feel it's part of my mission, like Frederick Douglass said, to help build strong children, so we don't have to repair broken men. You see, and so that's part of the reason why, you know, all of my content is going to be distributed by Black Education Station. Let me give a shout out to them, by the way. BlackEducationStation.com. It's our own Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. It's Netflix/PBS Kids, created by Black people, owned by Black people, featuring Black people, not as the token, not as the sidekick, but as the main character. That's BlackEducationStation.com. So for those who after we launch on July 17th, if you're looking for the Black Lion and Cubs cartoon and motion comic series, it will be found there, not on YouTube. Not on YouTube. No, it won't be on YouTube. It'll be on Black Education Station exclusively.
So let's talk about the launch.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this launch. Here's some of the people that's on the launch. Oh, look at that bald-faced man up the front. Okay. That's where I got to get more headshots. But so far you have myself, you have yourself, you have Harrison Kerr over at Famicon, Nancy Gilliam for Black Education Station, Dr. Chester from Black Educators Rock, Lady Mandalore from Roomful of Blurs, Caprice Deshawn from UE for Life, and our very own Josh Brown we've had on for General Joshua Comics. Already a nice lineup. Now this is taking place July 17th. You want to be there. This is the launch. This is the major launch. Let's talk about what these people will see for this launch.
Well, I'm still formulating exactly what they're going to see, but I'll say this much. This launch is going to is going to place a flag or a comma in the history of anime, because it's such a historic launch. Like, people don't really understand the gravity of what we're doing with this launch. But as far as I know, and you guys can correct me because you've been in the space a lot longer than I have, it is the first time an independent anime brand has launched so many different types of products and mediums at the exact same time. We're talking about a cartoon series, a comic book, 3 video games, the album, the merch, the card deck, and so I don't know everything else. But my point is, it's historic that this is happening.
You know
and
what?
On top of that, not only is it independent, it's Black owned too. And so
no, he's right. He's right. This is probably the first time. I haven't heard any other, and no shade to any other indie creator out there, but this is probably the first time that many properties has been launched at mediums at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know of any major ones that have done all of that at the same time.
Right.
And so thank you to that point. That's why we're excited, because we want to lead by example. We want to make our mark in the history of this culture, and then set the blaze a trail or set a foundation for other people to do the same. One of the things that I've seen prevalent in this space is this thing where everybody's caught up with this fundraising thing. Everybody's raising funds. I get it. It takes dough to make bread. That's Hustler's Commandment number 9. I wrote the book. You understand? However, what I'm about is helping people get their own money, so you don't have to sit around and wait for other people to give you the money to do what you want to do. I want to help people think and operate in a way that they can create at will. I know what it feels like, because I've been in a place where I had to pimp myself out. Hold myself out, I should say, my artistry to make money. It's not a good feeling. Oh, let me just do this so I can make $1 here. Let me just do this so someone can pay me for it. I don't like that. You understand? Especially when it comes to my artistry, my craft is very personal to me. You understand? I'm an artist. As Erykah Badu said, I'm sensitive about my stuff. You understand? Very sensitive. I don't like no one telling me or having any kind of opinion that has an effect on what I create. You understand? I create for the sheer love and joy of it. Now, I'm able to do that because I already have the money. I know business. I've built business, right? So it frees me to be the creative person that we all want to be, right? And to do it at will, and not have. If I sell not one single piece of content from Black Lion and Cubs, guess what? I'm good. You understand? I'm good. And if no one in this world outside of my 2 children love what I create, guess what? I'm good, because that's who I made it for in the first place. Now, that level of freedom and a confidence that I would love to share with other beautiful, creative people in this space, because this is what I do know. Man, we have some amazing creatives, man, some amazing storytellers, artists, and some of the art I've seen created by Black people. I'm like, man, how come this person ain't popping? Why come I never heard of this person? Where's their, and all I see is Kickstarter and maybe Woe Is Me, and then some of these other entities, all they do is, investor rounds. That's the same thing. Let's be clear. No, that's not. It sounds like it's better because it's called investor rounds, right? But it's the same thing. You're raising money because you don't have it. You understand? You need. So my point is, let's get out of this. Let's get out of this thing where we're constantly asking people for money to do what we want to do. Let's find creative ways so that we can get the money, free us up to develop the content that we want to develop at the level that we want to develop with the competencies, so we don't have to sell ourselves short, or as they say, in previous generations, sell out. You see, that's what happens. We end up selling out. There ain't no sellout over here. You see, because I don't need your money. You understand? And that's a beautiful thing to have to be able to say. I don't need it, so I'm good. You see,
it's your level of It's your aura of peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's doing it. You know, I'm like, yo, this man is talking from a place of you can, you can't, it's not gonna matter. I'm good. Those two right there is what I'm doing it for. And you walking that path. And that's not everybody can be straight out and say that and feel that way.
It's also
I want to be
a lot of
clear.
New York.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying I can also hear a lot of New York.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
oh,
A lot of
Oh yeah.
I want to say I hope I'm not offending anybody, you know, in the way I speak about this, because you know sometimes people misconstrue what I'm saying as bragging. You see, and ultimately I want to be clear that my intent is to inspire and motivate people to transit, because for me in this life it's either ownership or it's slaveship. You understand? This
That
how
part.
it is. It's ownership or it's slaveship. And I'm Frederick Douglass in this game. I'm Harriet Tubman. So I'm here trying to free people from that slave ship and put them on this ownership. And the way I do so is not by just talking it. I walk it each and every day. So that's why I always refer to what I'm doing to help people see that this is real. This isn't someone that read a book or went to school for this, that, or saw someone else do it, and I'm quoting Tony Robbins or whatever. No, let me show you. So I'm doing this thing. I'm doing it. I'm your brother. I look just like you. I'm no different from you, except I operate on this level in thinking and action, not just the thought, but also the action. And I want to help other people do the same. And so I'm hoping that that's translated well in my conversation with you guys tonight.
See, now this is what I'm talking about that aura of peace and how you explain yourself. Not everybody will do that. Not everybody is willing to say, don't get it twisted. This is not me bragging. This is not it. You're explaining it in a way that, no, I don't want you getting upset. I want you to hear what I'm saying, why I said it. And then you can ascertain what you want from there. But this is why I'm saying you can tell he's speaking as an educator. You know, someone that had there are adults. Let's be honest. There are people, grown adults, who you have to speak to as children for them to understand the simplicity of what's being taught.
You're not talking to make sound. You're talking to be heard.
Yeah.
You talking to make sense to me. That's why I was like, nah, you did not come off, and I was going to add to that. You did not come off, to me, you did not come off as arrogant. You didn't come off as any of that. You literally sat there and said, here is my story. You can do it too. That's
there you
go. That to me, the way you were speaking is like, this is my story. You can literally choose. You pretty much said there is an avenue. You can choose to take it or you can choose not to take it. But I'm just telling you, you know, you pretty much laid that out there. That's what I took from it. So I didn't take it as arrogant, even though I heard the New York. But then again, I'm from the South. We all think y'all arrogant. So
come on, love, man.
Whatever. Really will.
Really will. So
whatever. You love being Kara. Don't play that.
So for the record, we'll be watching is from Maryland. Lady Mandalore is from.
Whoa.
Wait, you're living in Maryland, right?
I'm from Baltimore.
Oh wait, no, I forgot. Yeah, it's a little different. It's a different vibe. It's different. Lady Mandalore, you know, she's in New York. Lainey from Geek by Heart, she's in New Jersey. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. So Will's the only Southerner.
Yeah.
You know, so he's just like, why all the hostility?
That's why I was sitting there saying, we, you know, just to throw a joke, y'all probably think that we all slow, we all think y'all arrogant. So
you know what? I heard that from a homie. It's probably part of the reason why I do take the time to make sure that people don't misconstrue my passion. You see what I'm saying? Because my homie, he's from South Carolina and Atlanta, and he's one of my best friends, right? It's like my ace, you understand? And he would tell me, like, yo, we used to hate y'all New Yorkers. Y'all arrogant. Y'all think y'all all this, that, and the other, and, you know, so on and so forth. So, and again, I'm very passionate. Even today I presented at a conference earlier today, and I do the same thing. I have to make sure that my my passion, my fervor, and my belief and confidence in myself doesn't offend other people's insecurities. You see?
Yeah,
and that's Deion Sanders. That's Deion Sanders right there. He says, "Don't let my confidence offend your insecurities."
Right, that part.
And I understood when he said that. I said, "Dang, that's so," because it's a sad thing that happens a lot of times for people, is that when someone comes off as confident, it's an affront to the insecurities that other people have, and that's not the intention. The intention is to say, "Hey, man, look, I'm your brother. Man, look, if you see me as powerful and confident and all these different things, let me show you how to do the same thing." I mean, let me, what I'm saying? Like, let it inspire you and motivate you instead of, run you away with, words of, anyway, so anyway.
No, you're right. No, I know you are 100% right. So that's why, like you said, we all have to take what you did is what we've all have done on this panel. It's like you have to literally get your point across to the point to where they have to see. I would say you have to see beyond someone's work. You have to see beyond someone's personality and really see what they're trying to tell you. So that's always been that right there is the verbal judo of all things. It's like because folks will sit there, like, for example, folks will see you. It's like, oh man, he's got a comic line, he's got video games, he's got this, he's got the mission, he's got the purpose, and they get so caught up in everything you accomplish that they forget. It's like, hey, I'm only telling you what you can do, but I'm trying to get you away from the. It's like a cat sees shiny objects. Like, if a cat sees a shiny object, it's stuck. There's nothing you can do to it. I'm trying to pull you away from the shiny objects. I'm trying to get you to listen to me, so therefore the message is not lost. So I see what you're saying. So no, I know we all get it. We really do. As far as having to present yourself in such a way to where it's like, I just need you to hear me. Don't look at all the flash and substance. Hear what I'm telling you and digest that. So I get where I truly do get that.
Thank you, big brother. Thank you.
This is
I can't wait for us as a people to actually listen and be like that and not be jealous when people are presenting who they are. Because I think because it's so interesting. Like, I also did not get anything from you of feeling like you're bragging or overconfident. I felt like you were telling your story. I felt like you were laying down roadmaps and you were saying, come along on the train. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm thinking about how you were saying it, I'm like, well, why is that? And I think that sometimes we can just be our own worst enemy, and we can just get off into being our own worst enemy and being our own best friend. Yo, we as a people be unstoppable.
Yo, that's my language right there. That's what I'm saying. You see? Is it Laney? Laney,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. That's what I know. Like, when we recognize our true divine nature and know how powerful we are and start operating in that space, that is how who we become. Unstoppable, like the juggernaut, right? Yeah, that's my blur coming out. Yeah, unstoppable. And that's what I'm demonstrating right now. Like, listen, I am unstoppable. No one can stop me because no one else is in control of me but me. You understand? No one has the power and domain over me but me. And so with that, a person becomes free and unstoppable. That's why I liken my work to Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman. I said it's ownership or it's slaveship for a reason. Harriet Tubman said, she said, you know what? I freed a lot of slaves, and I would have freed a whole lot more if only they knew they were slaves. You see? And there's too many of us that don't know, because we get caught up in whatever else we're caught up in. We don't even know that you still right there. You still right there that, from we just had Juneteenth, right? Nah, you ain't free. You ain't free. Okay, so my point is, that's why I utilize those phrases. In fact, when I first started in entrepreneurship, my title wasn't CEO; it was business abolitionist. I gave myself that title, business abolitionist, freeing people through entrepreneurship. You see, So
too.
thank you for that, Laney. You know, because that's what I want for us, man. And that's ultimately what I'm teaching my two sons, how to become unstoppable. And I'm using now this medium to help them do so.
See, when I hear these words, these bars, because we said it in the private chat, these are bars. You know, I think even down to, we just seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and there's a line he says in there, you know, when they say you're not supposed to be here, you're different, you're an anomaly, and Miguel says, I'm tired of people telling me how I should live, what I should be doing with my life, blah blah blah. He says, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And that's the vibe. I'm like, that right there speaks volumes. So, man, hotel. The fact you broke down a lot of stuff. They came to church today.
I just hope they're responsive to it. You know, I hope the people are responsive to it. You know, I've done this, as you guys can hear, in a lot of different iterations at a lot of different points in my life, and now I'm just doing so through the anime space. But you know, one of my frustrations is like Harriet said, you know, I wish I could have done so much more, man. I wish more people listened. I wish more people followed through on the messages and the information that they're receiving, because man, we're so beautiful, we're so powerful, man, and we're living at a fraction at where we could if we actually understood that and utilized it. You understand? So
right.
You know.
So how do we end this week?
That's a collection plate. I'm at this point. I can't fall. It's hard to follow that up. That's just
it's really hard. Hotep, my brother, you have an amazing spirit. You have an amazing message. You have an amazing platform.
Thank you.
And I just hope that the rest of the blurred space sees that and uses that same mentality, and like Laney said, just kind of follow suit, because we are a powerful people. When it's those moments where they look at us and think the worst, that we just like, you know what? Let me show you something.
If I may say one last thing about that point, this is something that people don't really appreciate, and has been said in a variety of different ways by white people, and we got mad at them, but it's true. The truth of the matter is, the African American is the most powerful being on this planet, and this is the reason why. I said the African American. I didn't say the African. I said the African American, because as was mentioned earlier, we are the survivors of the Middle Passage. We are the survivors of slavery. We are the upper echelon, right, of the breeding process. I hate to say it, but it's true. The breeding process that went and occurred through slavery. People didn't select the worst of us. They selected the most powerful of us, the most intelligent, the most capable of us. And this is what those people were doing back then. The white people were doing. They were selecting and breeding the same way they did animals. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we, as the African American, are the byproduct of the survival, right, of all of these horrors of the world, and the selection, not natural selection, but the purposeful selection of building a superhuman being, right? We ain't got to watch we ain't got to watch Tony Stark make the suit, or Captain America and his, all of that. Check this out. All of that stuff, all that fantasy story that they make in them comic books has already been done in real life with us. You see? So I say all that to say, we as African Americans, man, we have the genetics, man, on a genetic level, or by nature or selection, are incredibly powerful beyond any other species or subspecies of human being on this earth. It is our destiny and right, to do this thing, and do this thing at a level that no one has ever seen it in every space, not just sports. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I want to remind that to everybody that's watching, right? This is who we are. It's how it's been intended for us. And with that great power, as you guys know before, comes great responsibility.
responsibility.
There it is. And so I'm going to challenge everybody to take charge of that responsibility, apply that responsibility, hold yourself accountable as well. Hold your fellow man and fellow sister accountable, right? When they slacking and not being the best that they can be, to do something powerful and productive on this planet. Y'all got me preaching right now. Hold on.
Yo, church is here.
Church is in session. I'm just saying, you know.
And so, you know, the only thing I ask of you guys, don't pay it back, pay it forward, man. If you believe in what I'm saying to be true and inspiring and motivating, share with your audiences Black Lion and Cubs. The only space that I'm asking people to come to is our IG page at Black Lion and Cubs. That's the only place. I'm keeping it simple. So you ain't got to go look for us and all. At Black Lion and Cubs on IG. Follow us, forward it, share it. Thank you, sir. Share with people, let them know, hey man, check this out. And then RSVP for our historic launch, man. Be a part of history. Be able to say, you know what? I was at March on Washington. Yeah, you couldn't be at March, but this is our March on Washington right here, right? Oh, you couldn't be at the Million Man March, the first one back in 96. Was it 95 or 90? Hey,
96, yeah.
96, you understand? This is history right here. So make sure when when it was asked, hey, when Black Lion Cubs launched, where were you? You know what I'm saying? Make sure, hey, I was there. I got pictures. I got screenshots. You know what I'm saying? He shouted me out. I was on the panel. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I ask you guys. Pay it forward, man, because I'm telling you, I ain't going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep coming through. I'm coming through smashing in an orderly fashion because that's what I was born to do. All right? I'm done. Thank you guys for your time.
Hotel. My man. Let me get back. Yo, this was dope. Like I said, your platform is amazing. I'm glad to be a part of this launch. You know, I'm glad for us to be working together. The fact that you never cease to amaze me. Every time we've spoken, and I'm just like, and this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is who I'm supposed to talk to, and this is what's going on. So, yo, thanks again, man, for coming through. Y'all really need to go check them out. Black Lions and Cubs, the link tree. Check the link tree in the bio. Get the RSVP is in the information up there. You would be doing yourself a severe disservice. It's taking place July 17th. You're making a snarly face. You want to go check this man out. What he's talking about. It's all facts. No fluff. It's all there. Man, Hotep, thank you once again for coming through, man.
Thank you all. Peace.
All right, Lady Mandalore.
Oh, well, hello. Good evening, everybody. Hi. I'm going to look at my camera now. Hi. Lady Mandalore here, also known as Roomful of Blurs, right over here. I have to get used to this now. You can find me on Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my own little podcast, on YouTube and live on Twitch. I also have a monthly audio chat room that I hold on an app called Fanbase. It's the first Saturday of every month. Boy, I can also be, I skipped one part. I'm also on Opulence Radio.
It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot. I work hard. I do work. I'm also on Opulence Radio on Thursdays and Saturdays, and I do other things too. Jesus, and I can't think of what they are. I do another podcast where I talk about the history of Mandalore.
All the things.
I do the voice acting on it. I do the script. That's my show. That's my baby. I'm very proud of it. That is it. That is all. Thank you. God bless. Good night.
All right. Oh, Lainey from Geek by Heart.
I love the fact that we are just all a jack of all trades, and y'all. Yes. I am Lainey from Geek by Heart. I am one half of Geek by Heart. Me and my husband do Geek by Heart on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter. Just come to join us there. We talk about all things geeky. I love to talk about horror stuff. So if you want to find me on my write-ups on blurredeyeview.org, but also on TikTok as well. And we just here to have a good time.
Factual.
Showtime.
It's just
Yay.
what we do.
It's
Like,
showtime.
you'd be wrong if you didn't.
Right.
Black Spartan.
Yes, it is
Talk
I.
to the peoples.
I, Black Spartan, also known as BlackFox447 on all socials. I pretty much do reviews on everything that I watch, that I play, that I read, and gym stuff because apparently I scared Jehovah's Witnesses.
Go back to episodes of Black One.
Just putting it out there. Apparently I'm big enough to be saved. But aside from that, I do have a couple podcasts of my own. Of course, my news and political podcast called How the Frack We Got Here. Every Wednesday and Saturday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. My video game podcast called Get Bit with my coach Joe Tonello. Every Friday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. My podcasts both can be seen and heard everywhere podcasts are syndicated or uploaded, downloaded, or re-uploaded for all those that want to listen to it twice. We are also on Opulence Radio as well as Always Record TV, along with a Room Full of Blurs and with Blur's Eye View. So we are joining the very big fleet, if you will, with the Capitan, with the King of the North, defender of all seven realms.
I got to get a nameplate that just says "just the man." Just
You need a flag.
Might as well at this point.
A scroll.
a scroll. Need somebody to read it every time I come in the room.
Oh
Lord!
Lord! I'm also one of the many writers for Blur's Eye View. I actually do the wrestling side of things. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Shout out to Mr. Kennedy for that one. And at the same time, guys, I as you've heard from Hotep, who I also said the same thing. That going forward, we do need to be more about sharing what people are doing, really pumping them up, promoting them, congratulating everybody, whether it's a win or it's a bag, it's a job. It takes literally zero energy to do all these things. It takes 100% negative energy to do these things. And at the same time, we need to be more about unifying and moving forward. Simply put, because imagine what we would be if we were truly unified. It would scare white people.
We would be
What?
We would be Krakoa out this bitch.
That also being said, I just have one simple rule. I'm a very social person, as those four will tell you. I am a very talkative person. We'll talk to almost anybody. I just have one rule. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool.
It's a nice tag. The cinematic assassin will be watching in the building.
Yes.
Computer.
Technical terrorist.
It is I will be watching the Cinematic Assassin. I'm a writer for purefandom.com where I talk about trailers, Craven the Hunter coming soon, and do episode recaps from time to time. And I might get, Secret Invasions coming, dip my toe there. Also a writer for blursedeyeview.org where I talk about action movies, and I might be writing something about The Flash, the $1 billion movie that wasn't.
Don't go to Vegas, Will.
Hey, listen. you put it all on black. And sometimes the house wins. It is what it is. Like, it's all good. What else do I do? Oh, I do TV reviews, movie reviews, comic reviews on the internets at Mayhem Media. That's MAYEHEM Media. That's on IG, TikTok, Twitch. Not really. Don't check for me there. And Twitter. The YouTube as well, coming soon. And as I always say, mental health is important. So be sure and take your meds and take that PTO. And whatever else you do, lean into laughter, lean into learning, lean into love, and we're going to make this thing a better place.
Right. Honey, get the scroll out.
Hear ye.
No.
Just bust out the CVS receipt.
The CVS receipt, right. It is your man on the wall, Chris Fury, King of the North, the man with the plan, the captain of the ship. What, anything else? Nothing else? Okay, good. We just rest of the time.
Master of all use of ways.
Right. That's all of that. If you like what you've seen and this is the first time here, go check us out on IG, Blur's Eye View, and you will find the link tree in the bio, which will lead you to all the platforms you can find us, including Facebook, Blur's Eye View Podcast, and you can listen to us on Opulence Radio. Blurred Out Thursdays. Blurred's Eye View is the show that leads the charge, and we're on there with Roomful of Blurreds, Get Big Podcast, and I want to say Navy Show is on there too. So we're out here. We're out here. They're not lying when we said a fleet. I told y'all we coming. We are coming. You can pause. Shout out to Raw for that one.
Blurred's After Dark. Blurred's After Dark.
I was waiting for Will to say something.
That was Blurred's Eye View After Dark. You can also catch us on Twitch as well. So, but man, it's always an honor when I have the team with me, when we have dope people on. You can check us out on YouTube as well. Go over to the YouTube channel. That's also in the Linktree bio. Go to the YouTube channel, show your love, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, have some fun. Check out our man Tafari TV. Check out Tafari TV. He's giving us the commercials and the skits and more theories that we got to go back and rework and go over now. Damn Canon Vince. So tune in to us live every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Why 9? Because life be lifing. So 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, same channels, but you want to tune in for us this Thursday. I mean, you want to tune in to us all the time, but why not? Thank you, Verb, for Tafari and Verb been neck and neck at the comment section tonight. Appreciate it. I love it. That's good. That's good television. But you can also catch us on. You can always catch us on. Always press. Well, first off, we're an affiliate of Otaku Noir. Let's get that out. We are an affiliate of Otaku Noir. Go to otakunoir.com and use the discount code Blurred's Eye View for free shipping. Otaku Noir, the #1 blurred mystery box company. You don't want to miss it. You want to get in on that. You really want to get on that. You can also check us out on Always Press Record TV on Roku and Amazon Fire. Just go to alwayspressrecord.com and follow the directions there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guest, Hotep, for Black Lion and Cubs. Dope guy, dope platform. You want to tune in to July 17th, go to @blacklionandcubs.com or @black Black Lion and Cubs on IG. Go to the link tree. They have the RSVP for July 17th, so you can find out the time, get your ticket free, of course. And check us out. Me and Lady Mandalore will be there. We will be there amongst other educators and people of creative spaces, talking about what needs to be talking about and doing the work. So you want to tune in for that. But thank you to Hotep and thank you to my team.
Yeah.
See, we can do serious too.
In a fun way.
We do it in a fun way. We make the people laugh.
Yeah.
And we
try. We're real people.
Yeah, think of us like the Firefly. Think of us like the Firefly crew. Only all of us are still alive. So
too soon.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm just sorry, but watching Wash and Shepherd book, not easy. All right, it's never going to be easy. Cinematic sounded like he was sitting there like, oh no,
Jesus,
no,
darkness, my old friend.
Where's my blankie? Where's my wubby? Oh my God! So. Thank you to everybody. Yes, click. That's ain't nobody messing with the click. Yeah. You want to tune in to us all the time, and you'll be seeing us really soon at BlurCon. We will be at BlurCon. We will be having a panel. Details will be coming soon. So if you like us live on the computer screens. Oh boy. It's gonna be a party.
Oh yeah.
They might have take us out of there kicking and screaming, but we're gonna give them something to talk about. Oh my God. So thank you, Angelic Empress, for joining up. But yeah, like I said, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on all the things, as Kennedy would say, and have fun with us. Show your support. Give us stars on Facebook. Patreon coming very soon. You want to tune in for that. What it entail? Join up and find out. Until then, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. Tune in Thursday while we talk about Batman and Friends and the Blackening. That's our breakdown for Thursday evening. It's going to be, we are going to tear a new one for certain people.
It's the WB.
I already got the cane. Let's go.
We are out of here. See you Thursday.
Bye.